opening hand algorithm here. We're going to replay. So Hex's opening hand algorithm actually doesn't generate the hands in a completely random manner. So Hex uses a modified hypergeometric distribution to modify the range of opening hands that you can generate. So basically, it doesn't generate the 10% most resource light hands or 5% most resource dense hands that your hand could possibly have, which is great if you're looking to someone that's good at card games and be competitive at them. Means you're gonna have less non-games where you just mulligan to oblivion. This is like Hearthstone is a video game. This is a video game. In fact, this is really sad. This is a new deck I just created, so I forgot to select sleeves and a battle board. Or it could even look even more like a video game than it does right now. One of the other things that's great about Hex is interactive decks in Hex are a lot better in Hex than they are in Magic, because you'll note here, my opponent and I have different portraits here. This is our starting champion. You'll also note that my opponent and I had different starting health totals. So the champion allows you to kind of gain some information on what your opponent's likely to be doing. You can kind of tell like which meta deck, if they're playing a deck that's not a brew, they're likely to be playing based on their champion. Their champion power also helps mitigate some of the frustration of flooding that occurs in games like Magic and Hex where you have resources in your deck. So my champion power says when I gain 4 charges, or basically every time I play 4 resources, I can put 3 cards from my bottom of my deck into my discard pile, and then return a card at random from my discard pile to my hand. It's basically like 4 cost draw a card. This resource that I cycled here, we put an Eternal Secret Image. So the deck I'm playing right now is a Reanimator strategy. And this is one of the bombs that it likes to reanimate. They 5/5 with Flight. Then when it comes into play, I get to pick a number and then void every card in play with the chosen cost number. This resource is a resource that I can play out from my hand, or I can pay to and discard it to discard the top 2 cards of my deck and then draw a card. So it kind of enables my Reanimator game plan.
What a luck sack.
What's the best deck in Hex? There are 3 decks that are kind of competing for the best deck title in Hex currently. I think the Turbo Psychic Ascension deck, I played the wrong resource, I drew a Herofall. So the resource system in Hex, you don't keep track of your resources individually. So in total, I've played 4 resources, and I've played 2 green ones, 1 purple one, and then 1 that made this little battle hopper was a utility resource. This card requires 3 resources to play, and requires that I've played 2 purple resources in order to play it. So because I didn't play this, I actually can't play this Herofall. In Hex, you'll see this card says it's a quick action, and this card says it's a basic action. So quick actions I can play on my opponent's turn in response to their things. You'll notice when I play something out or my opponent plays something out, there's a window of priority passes where I get a chance to respond to things that they're doing. How often is Hex rotating and releasing new stuff? Can you buy one deck and play forever? Well, you need to update. Standard cards rotate every 8 months. The oldest, so Hex has 5 or 6 sets that are standard legal at any given point, and every other set release, every even set release, the oldest 2 sets rotate out of standard. Hex also has a non-rotating format called Immortal that you can play. All right, play that out. I think I'm going to hit my champion power here. I kind of don't want to risk returning this Eternal Secret to my hand, because this Rotten Rancor returns, it's one of my Reanimate cards, it returns that troop from my discard pile to play. I'm just going to keep attacking my opponent for 3 here. Wait on my champion power here. So what I'm playing is kind of a mid-range Reanimator style deck. Runic Growth, sure. So this card gives my opponent an extra resource, and then it has a mechanic called Runic where it kind of puts itself off to the side here in a stasis state until they draw another resource. And they drew a resource with their champion power, and then they got to replay this. And my opponent's really not doing anything, so we're just like slowly beating them down with this 3-1. All this removal stacked up in my hand. Just gonna keep passing. Came for the teamer, sticking around for the Kaigu. Chris Van Meter with the 17-month resubscription. Thanks for re-upping, bud. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Opponent's up to 9 out of 8. Has 9 resources available here.
You're dead.
What are the three competing to be the best? There's the turbo PA deck, the Sapphire Diamond combo control deck, the Ruby Diamond Ardent aggressive deck with Heart of Embers at the top end, and then some variation of Kagulichu Reanimator. I'm not actually sure which one is the best. So my opponent just keeps passing, not doing anything here. We have a Sabertooth to kill my thing, sure. I think I'm gonna just strangle this. I don't know what exactly they're doing, but they probably need a lot of resources to do it. Acolyte of Shoku of my own. So this Acolyte of Shoku has an activated ability that I can pay 3 and create this Dreadling Troop with it. What the Dreadling Troop does is it's a 1/1 with speed that has to attack that dies at the end of turn.
Got it. Correct.
I'm going to go ahead and activate this now. So that way I return something from my discard pile to my hand before this Dreadling gets in there. Put another Eternal Seeker in there. Sweet. So this ice that I just played out has a really powerful mechanic called Fate Weave on it. So I choose whether or not I want to draw a resource or non-resource next turn. I'd like to draw a non-resource, so I got plenty of resources here. Opponent cycling a coin of their own. Let my Yazukan out. So Yazukan here is a 3/5 with lethal, life drain, and flight. And at the start of every one of my turns, it returns a random troop from my crypt to play. And all other troops the same name as that, so. How well does Hex manage their Immortal type format? So Immortal, they just announced that. So Immortal currently has a unranked ladder that you can play on that... The on-demand queues for Immortal don't currently give prizes, but they have a large tournament for the format every... how often? It's every other month. Yeah, and then they have smaller tournaments that fire twice a week for the format. What does that do? Oh, jeez.
Deck, idiot.
Well, okay, so my opponent's playing kind of a combo ramp deck of sorts. This gives them all of their resource points back. And then they're up to 10, so they played this Walking Calamity card. And they have a Sabertooth as well. So I'm going to chump block this Sabertooth.
Take 20.
Take 10 from this. No, Eternal Seeker voids this, so that's fine. Right. So this thing, when it can't be interrupted, it has Speed or Crush, and when it dies, it deals 10 damage to me in each of my things.
No!
So we're going to play this Eternal Seeker out.
Could've got them both.
No, I think I'd rather just leave that for now.
You're crazy. Your removal spell from it.
Yeah, the tier 2 decks in Hex on average aren't much worse than the tier 1 decks. The deck my opponent's playing is actually a brew. Yep. That's okay. Hopefully they don't have a third Walking Calamity in their hand. That would be bad for us. So we're gonna clean the board up here. We're gonna get to Rotten Rancor this Eternal Seeker back into play and kill this. So these will trade, and then my Eternal Seeker trigger happens, and I choose 10 again to get rid of their Walking Calamity. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I'm gonna hit this. We get Yazukan back. It's not bad. Hopefully they just get out of here. You're so rude.
Come on, Calamity. Goddamn. No, that's what they
know there's 4 of them in their deck, right?
Yeah, of course. Oh, that's bad. Dude, that's totally beatable.
That's totally beatable. So, so my opponent played Wildlife for 12 resources, and it summons X troops with X cost. So they summon 6 cost troops.
So we need a Rancor here.
We need a reanimation spell. I'm gonna go ahead and Herofall this Windsinger so they don't draw an extra card.
The only one in their deck.
I need a reanimate spell. Does that allow me to survive?
Do you have a Rot Gang in your deck?
I do have a Rot Gang in my deck. That doesn't let me survive though.
Plus you gain 6, right?
No.
You have it. No, you can only.
Yeah, we're dead.
deck it is.
They called you Yazukan and raised you a singer, right? Huh. So Blight Knight's not particularly good. So Blight Knight's kind of a targeted hate card. Whenever a troop gets created, it gets -1/-1, so it's good against opposing Dreadlings and Candles. Bringing these Primordial Cockatwices, I think. Maybe a couple Steel Intels to grab their big plays. This is why you should play next to Red Runebind, right?
Why you Underworld Crusade deck?
It's pretty good. Put a guaranteed resource on top of my deck here, so I can have 4 in 4 turns.
Virgil gets me.
Yeah, Burgle, I agree that the Underworld Crusader and the Runeer are better against random decks like what my opponent's playing. I think what this deck is doing is better against the best decks in the format, though. And that's my goal, is to try and build a deck that's like better. What a tilt. So when this thing comes into play, it flips over the bottom 3 cards of our deck and it gives us any resources from them. There weren't any resources in them. That's, yeah. Brick Rabbit. You're not wrong. Yeah, I think it's weaker than Kagulichu. This says whenever they draw a card, they gain a resource. Yeah.
Go ramp it.
Magic Online lagged us out of the first game, so I conceded out of frustration. Is what happened to Standard. Red?
Own card. Mordrom.
Want to discard a 2 cards? Sure. Hit this, get a Cockatwice back to my hand. I flipped it over from one of these, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should have waited a turn to Mordrom's Gift it. Yeah, I probably should have waited and not hit. Yeah, hitting the Kagulichu power too early is a mistake that's very, very easy to make in this deck. Just like, don't do it. So like, if I would have waited, I could have Mordrom's Gift this back into play. This is post-board. I brought in Steel Intel because I didn't have any other better cards to bring in.
Need shards.
A couple of shards would be good. Taking 2 of my opponent's last 3 cards out of their hand is going to be pretty good too, though. This is actually a really neat combo, right? Like, Eye of Winter into Sejas, like, immediately ramp you. What is like super interesting. If you're a data junkie, one of the great things that Hex does is that, yeah, they have Walking Calamity next turn, is that they show you all the data for all the things. All right, well, you know. They're going to put Walking Calamity to play and I put it down, yep. Whoa, okay, so they don't have any bombs, it's good for us.
Alright, you're alive for one more turn.
Nothing in my bin to Yazukan back, so I guess we'll just take the last card out of their hand. Yeah, wildlife, God bless.
Ow, I have to take 2 wildlife down.
All right, are we back? Sorry, I accidentally kicked the kicked my webcam cord that was under my desk. I don't know why they're not making dreadlings with these. They could have just like paid 15 and made 5 dreadlings here.
Who does?
All right, I think we're just playing Yazukan because I want to save this Eternal Seeker for when my opponent draws a wildlife.
You have just a dreadling in there?
I mean, yeah, but there's a lot more in the format than just Turbo PAD, buddy.
Oh, that sucks.
Good drive, man.
Sure?
Yeah, I think you can handle it.
Alright, well, you're gonna die. Your Yazukan just died.
Can I have a Mordrom's gift?
Yeah, that's true.
That's gonna make a giant Yazukan. I
think we're just gonna-
have a sacrifice gem in it.
Try and save. Oh, it's a sack gem in it?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm not gonna block with the Battle Hopper then. Sure. Just take this 7 piece. Alright, so Jeff was talking about this Mordrom's Gift has these socketed abilities, and this one has when you deploy the troop, you may sacrifice troop. If you do, it gets +3/+3, and whatever you reanimate, which in this case is going to be this thing, gains the power of this. So we're going to do this.
I'm hoping that works the way I want it to work.
Right. Yeah. So yes, we're going to choose to activate this. We're going to eat this 0/1. Yes, we could have done this. I don't know. Pretty close. Sweet. Yeah, let's make another friend. We're just hanging out here. Hanging out. Yeah, you could play. We could have played that in case we put a seeker in the bin, but this is fine too. We're only at 18. We get to block this for free. No. I don't even know what's in here. I think there's just like dreadlings in here. Yeah, dreadling in there. I get to make 1,000,000 dreadlings.
You do get to make 1,000,000 dreadlings. Because I want giant things, Burgle. I should hit this first.
Yeah, probably.
Ooh. Nothing in here, is there?
No, there's not.
And Yazukan brings back all troops with the same name every turn. So by generating more of these dreadlings, next turn he has the chance to bring back every one of these dreadlings. Bring back the goat. He's still got goat presence in the background. Come on now.
True. Take the 5, not even putting.
I agree. I just want these dreadlings, right?
Yeah. You're not dead to walking calamity. Yeah, perfect.
Look at all my
Worked out
dreadlings.
nice.
The non-resource on top of my deck here.
Yeah.
More dreadlings. Yazukan and his army of dreadlings. Bringing him the Pound Town beatdown here.
You're going 4 here.
Opponent on the casual. Oh geez, if they have wildlife, they get to hit me with walking calamities.
Yeah. Yeah, they need the wildlife out.
They've already played 2, right?
They have not played 2.
They've discarded 2.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've seen a little bit more of the opponent's deck, I'm going to bring in these Nature's Reigns instead of these Steel Intels to kill their constants.
Yeah.
Actually, Strangle's pretty bad, right?
I'd bring back in the Blight Knight or whatever it's called instead of the Strangle. I mean,
Okay.
Strangle's
It
okay, kills the ramp.
this just kills them, right?
Yeah.
The 3/1 for 2. This seems fine. Acolyte in the discard, Nature's Reigns, their constants that ramp them.
Yeah.
What, mulligan? You know what my favorite type of opponent is to mind rot? The one that mulliganed.
Holy shit, they're dead.
Yeah, so the goal of this configuration of Kagulichu is to beat up on both the Ardent decks and the Turbo PA deck. I've got four Blight Knights in my main.
Ding.
I've cut the Crusader package in order to play 4 Blight Knights in my main. It's good versus Candles. It's good against Furryco. It's good against Intrepid Conjurer. I think Blight Knight's pretty well positioned right now. Which again is like one of the reasons why I love Hex. Like, in addition to printing a bunch of really obnoxious, powerful threats, Hex gives us a lot of really powerful, obnoxious answers too. They're not afraid to print hate cards for the strong things they're printing in the same set, so you can have a balanced, interactive format instead of just having one linear mechanic that runs away with games. Which is what Wizards of the Coast is inclined to do consistently. One of them was what's it called? The 10/10.
Oakland.
Calamity, yeah.
Got it.
Alright, so do I want another resource here?
Yeah. No.
I think I want to just be able to cast this. But it's not even about just printing generic answers. Magic consistently doesn't like to print targeted hate cards for the mechanic. It's like, okay, for example, Wizards of the Coast intentionally didn't print Graveyard Hate in the set where what's it called was legal. Delirium was legal. Because they wanted people to be able to play with their Delirium cards without any penalty.
Imagine if we had like some kind of energy drink card.
Yeah, like could you imagine if there was a card that lets you interact with energy? Like that's the type of answer you need. Like actual powerful things that answer the mechanics that you're printing directly. And it's about safety valve, that's exactly correct. If Solemnity was good enough, which it's not, it's slow, clunky, and doesn't. If Solemnity said things can't get counters and drain your opponent of energy, then it would be good enough. But it's not.
Another wildlife deck.
Another wildlife that could be, yep.
Get that fucking card.
Put a non-resource on top here for now. I've got this to get to 4-5. I've got guaranteed 4.
I would like accept like a 2-mana generic, like every time your upkeep, your opponent loses an energy, you gain energy, or something like along those lines. I don't even know what's good, but something like that. What?
Pretty stacked team. Guess Puzzle Quest is dead.
Does it have a Channel Fireball logo on it?
That just says Pro Team, Ultimate card.
That no longer has a Channel Fireball logo on it. You know what that means? The well's gone dry. Holy shit.
You want some chips? Alright, so...
Who's the guy on the right?
Magic, you invalid.
Who's the guy on the right?
I'm gonna play this Blight Knight out so my opponent can't attack with his Earth Mother, because every time they get to attack here with this... Oh, did the chip fall on the floor? There you go. $100 is a little disingenuous. It's probably closer to $150 for the most expensive decks. $100 is probably about the average for the tier 1 decks. There's some less than that, $70 to $80, some more, $150. 200 is kind of out of the ordinary. So the standard rotation, Hex rotates the 2 oldest standard legal sets every even set release. Combat trick. No, just...
What?
You're about to get a message in chat here? You think this was a 200 or something?
What is this game?
I don't understand.
Is this a competitive or friendly? Burgle.
Burgle with the daggers. So this card's kind of an interesting display of Hex's resource system. This is a 4/3 that only costs 1 resource, but it requires that you've played out 3 wild resources to play it. Battle of Destiny. All right, sure.
Nice. Good one.
Strangle that nerd. Champion Power Case, we get Acolyte back. Another Eternal Seeker. That's not great. I guess we're only 1 resource away from casting these Eternal Seekers. Wildlife for 2. Oh, and they get -1/-1 because of the Blight Knight. God, this card is so randomly good against so many things right now. So my opponent's card created 2 cost troops, and this thing says whenever a troop gets created, it gets -1/-1 permanently. Oh, my opponent has 3 cards left. Do you think they want to keep all of them? Primordial Cockatwice has been so good. So Burgle, having played the Ardent side of the Ardent Kaigu matchup a lot, the only time I really lose with the Ardent deck doesn't involve their Crusader draws. I lose to turn 5 Eternal Seeker and turn 6 Eternal Seekers. In this deck, turn 5s and turn 6 Eternal Seeker way better than the other Kagulichu variations. Battle of Destiny, tilt.
What? On? Cold? Hey.
And it battled my Blight Knight down.
Blight Knight does say get wrecked, McBombus. You are not wrong.
Alright, Cottontail's not bad. Hope we find us some more resources to get to these Eternal Seekers next turn. But Burgle, this deck has a lot of removal in it. These games where we're playing where we're not spending our resources because our opponent's not putting things into play for us to kill. Like against a deck that's curving out on 2, 3, 4, we have Strangles and Herofalls to play on 2, 3, 4 along with them. We get to match them on curve when it's relevant. We're not curving out because they're not curving out.
Yes.
So my opponent's played Aspect of the Squirrel here, which gives their troop +3/+3, and then the Skyguard Steadfast customization of this. And they scrounge 3, so they have another Aspect of the Squirrel in their hand right now, which I assume they're going to put on this again. Yeah, I've got an Eternal Seeker. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
they
worth
really-
that's worth more than 4
really?
later. Oh no, I should have blocked with this. 1, because I knew they had that, and 2, because I'm gonna void 2 drops here. I should have blocked with the Cottontail Explorer. Because I'm voiding 2s with these anyways. That was a mistake. So we're down 7 life.
But you're up a bunny now.
This would have made a bunny. I'm gonna try and attack here first, get a free point in. Yeah, I got my free point.
This is where you're supposed to celebrate. OSIP style.
OSIP style, got my free point. Got my bluff. So Eternal Seeker hits play and voids all of the 2 costs, which includes my Cottontail Explorer. Red Harvest, sure. So every time they play gain a wild shard, they get to make a 1/1.
Not for long.
Sure.
Oh, you can flip.
Sure.
I was hoping it was a knight.
Void your 2s, put my next 5/5 flyer into play. Big enough, Grok.
Yeah.
So Balthazar is a 6-drop 1/2. Then when it comes into play, it draws a card equal to the highest power among troops they control and gains health equal to the highest defense. So it gained 2 and drew 1 there.
That was really.
It was very strong. Gonna crack you for 10 down to 3. Okay, go ahead, opponent. All right. Nice clicking submit. I feel like they have more little troops, so Herofall and Strangle seem fine.
Yeah. They're just better cards.
We just have higher quality cards that they do.
The Klutz thinks I'm joking when I say these kind of things. I'm dead fucking serious.
There's no room to board here.
Get serious every time. Click submit, man. Go nuts.
Yeah, that seems fine. It needs a second blood threshold, but not too big of a deal. Speed 898 with the 16-month resubscription. Thank you, and welcome back. I do appreciate the continued support. Zoning on in on. Ooh, look at that. Second blood. Never didn't have it. Maybe I'm supposed to save that to cycle since I have this Rotten Rancor in hand. Hey! Elderhan? I'm sorry, I'm really bad at user names. Thank you very much for the brand new $4.99 a month subscription. I really do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Subscriptions are the best way you can support my content here. Help me do nice things for the stream too. My new microphone is supposed to be here today. Excited. Got a nice snowball coming. So Might Singer is a 2/2 for 2. That says whenever you get a wild threshold, the top card of their deck is a troop, they get to draw it. And then if they have 5 or more wild thresholds, it starts getting bigger every turn. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and Strangle. Actually, I'm gonna start by cycling this Monsagi Coin and see what we get. If we didn't put a Seeker in the bin, I'm just gonna leave these for now. We did not put a Seeker in the bin. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and Strangle this Might Singer. What's up, dude? You want Cheerios? You want more Cheerios? Commander prompt. That's kind of scary. So this gives all my opponents exhausted troops plus 2 power. All their ready troops +2 defense. I'm just gonna go ahead and Herofall this. Herofall not only destroys the troop in play, but it takes every copy of that troop out of my opponent's deck in hand. So you can see they're all gone there. I'm gonna go ahead and play this Acolyte of Shoku out. This is a little bit bad if my opponent has Crocosaur, but probably fine otherwise. Got Cottontail Explorer back ban, which actually we binned an Eternal Seeker off that champion activation as well, so we can Rancor that Seeker back next turn if we need to, assuming they don't kill both of these. Which there's a non-zero chance both of these dies if they have a Stomp Stomp Roar here. No, it's actually a different wildlife player. The other one was playing Sejas. Now, do I just Rancor the Cockatwice?
So.
Yeah, so Cockatwice. In addition to having the activated ability that we've been using, where when it comes into play, it makes the opponent discard 2 cards, or when we put it from our hand back into our deck, it makes the opponent discard 2 cards. It also makes them discard 2 cards when it comes into play. So this is going to Rancor back, it's going to fight this, and then it's going to make my opponent discard 2 of the 4 cards in their gift to the Manti. All right. Well, so their troop's going to live here, but this Rancor basically just put a 4/6 lethal into play. My opponent discards 3 cards, which, sure. This card's great. And this is like the perfect troop for a Reanimator deck. Like, it's great when we get it in the bin, but like when we draw it in the mid to early game, it's fine. Like, it has this activated ability to make them discard cards.
Oh.
I think the last card is, they have like another Balthazar that they're debating cantripping.
Ow. 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 Oh.
You can't hear me.
Whoop whoop.
Oh.
Boy.
Whoop whoop. Can I play this Paw out? Yeah, probably not. I think just wait for something. This makes there's got to be Crocs in their deck, so
Oh, definitely.
I'm just holding this Strangle up.
It's just boring.
Hey, Blight Knight, putting in work again.
But got 2 of them. Oh, they got an Auspex. Oh, Pivot Hustle. That sounds awful.
Random sacred.
That sounds awful.
So they turn. So this card, when it comes into play, it turns an opposing. This might be a concession here. It returns an opposing troop into a random artifact cost troop with cost -1. They turn by random 7-drop it by 7-drop into a random 6-drop, which in general you don't want to use effects like this on cards that cost more than say 4, because like the average 6-cost troop is like pretty reasonable. I'm gonna go ahead and Paw of Yazukan here. Actually, no more Cheerios. I'm gonna activate this Acolyte of Shoku here and see if they block the Dreadling, because I would kind of like to Paw and leave Seeker and Yazukan in my bin.
Probably blocking with 3.
I think so.
You can attack with your Cottontails.
Hopefully set 8's gonna release before the CCS happens. If historically speaking, set 8, the set always drops before the second CCS. Usually we don't have 2 CCSs in the same format. For those that are new to Hex, the CCS stands for the Cosmic Crown Showdown. It's Hex's, it's a 128 player invite only tournament that Hex has every 2 months. It's $5,000 in cash prizes to the top 8 players. Look, there's that Croc that we've been holding on to the Strangle for. So when Croc comes into play, it battles 2 of my cards. So I'm going to go ahead and Strangle this thing in response to make it smaller. So it's going to battle as a 1/2 instead of a 5/6. So this thing's going to kill it. My guy's not going to die. You got cashews? When it concedes. You want the headset?
Of course you did.
Gamer Toddler, this is why my headset's broken for reference. It's this right here. You see this? This is why the headset's broken. Why the microphone don't work. You're adorable, but you're the reason the headset's broken. All right, what do we want? What do we want here? Oh, they're playing Cassia, and I've got a Blight Knight in my hand, so let's keep this. All right, maybe we have to find out if the Turbo PA matchup's good.
But I get to stay for this one.
A non-resource on top of my deck here. Nope, you're done with my headset.
Ooh.
Dad would like the headphone part to stay working on them. Don't touch my keyboard either, turd.
You're a jerk. You are a jerk. Come here. You're coming over here.
Blight Knight only shrinks created troops.
You're such a jerk. You're a jerk. Ow.
I mean, we don't know anything about that, Doomfish. We've had sets release a week out from the CCS before. It's like not a big deal.
What are you doing? Habibi. Habibi. Habibi.
It's possible. Nope. I'm supposed to hold up Herofall here, but I don't think so. I'm gonna have to get my stuff into play.
Beep beep.
I mean, you know that for a fact, Storo? Again, just like speculation in either direction is like not particularly useful. See if they have a console here. So my opponent's playing the Turbo PA combo deck. Cyclone Shaper here makes all of their actions cost one less. So basically they're just able to chain through their deck at this point. They did answer my thing. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the PA deck is good, right? It gets to play Transmogriphage in the main deck.
Hate you. So, you're wrong.
I actually wouldn't mind if the CCS was pushed back a week. When is our CCS being pushed back a week would be fine for us, right? Yeah, because this is this week. Okay, I think that would be fine.
What's up, dude?
I like trading aggressively in these types of matchups because remember my opponent's troops are basically resources for them. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this because if we get the Cockatwice back, I should take the last two cards out of their hand, or we could get a Blight Knight. All right. Yep. I think I'd rather do this than Herofall their thing. Oh, okay. Sweet. So that is a fact then. That's good to know. All right. So they're just trying to take us on the alternative beatdown plan. Rotten Rancor, huh? Is that one good?
Duck.
We get to Rancor my cock back into play. Got it. This resolves. They are dead. You kids in this headset. I guess it's broken already, so whatever.
Get you a fake one and cut the cords. Think about that.
Transmog my Blight Knight in response, sure. Can I interest you in losing your most important card and discarding the remaining card in your hand?
Oh, look. Oh, look at that. Why are you gonna be...
All right, let's go.
Might cost PA off the top.
Do we believe yet, Burgle? Oh no.
No.
Oh no, we're dead.
Deck idiot.
I started talking shit. Talk shit, get hit. Oh no. The good news is we can activate this pile of nuts next turn, which then the Merry Squirrel will turn back into a thing for us. Alright, let's Strangle.
I don't want to break it to you. 11. No attack.
Oh, just back to block.
Turn clock.
This reverts itself, so it's going to turn back into the Blight Knight next turn.
Oh yeah.
Dude, please stop.
Give me that. Give me that. Give me that, you little jerk. Yeah, it takes two of us to get you.
I think I'd rather have the Blight Knight into play sooner
Jerk.
than like holding up this. Like holding up the removal for the what's it called means that they have to hit the Shaper plus a draw card, which is like kind of unlikely. And also like getting the Blight Knight into play for this is good because Blight Knight affects the cards created by my opponent's Psychic Ascensions as well. Damn it, child.
Give me this thing. This is mine now. You're such a jerk. You're such a jerk. Look what I did.
Alright, and now I get to just cast this Eternal Seeker and void all their 1-drops here and like attack them.
You're such a jerk.
Attack them for 7.
You're such a jerk.
Am I supposed to hold this back here? Could they make anything that could kill this? I guess they could have a randomly generated action.
What'd you do with my hat?
Alright, they had a randomly generated action, but the thing died, so I guess I could have attacked with that. So like, they ascended, but like, our axes of interaction were profitable this game. Man, I'm pretty fly. Who's the guy that streams with the hat? I need a cigarette and a Red Bull.
That's the one. Oh yeah, that guy. I haven't seen him in a while. You're like a carton of cigarettes.
Carton of cigarettes and a Red Bull.
Man.
And this Herofall to kill whatever troop they create. That's so good. I told you, Manny. I broke Kagu for us.
Not good.
This is it. I broke it.
You died the other Kagu decks. Because you're like, I'll play my guys. You'll die. Smash him.
What do you think of that boarding? Brought in 3 Vine Lashes and 2 more Cockatwices. Cut the paws and the Herofalls.
You want the Steel Intells? Better than Yaz. Your deck sucks. You have no pressure, but
Yeah, man. You just beat them with the big guys. I think I like this. I'm gonna go with this. These probably want speed in them for this matchup, right?
yeah. Do you have anything else, Sucker?
Nope.
God, no Underworld Crusader in this matchup. Ooh, dog.
I want to keep in some removal. I think Vine Lash is a really important innovation that Kaigu can have too for keeping up with the Turbo PA deck. Like being able to kill their being able to leave up just a single resource to kill their Shaper is pretty important. I think. Like you lose a lot of tempo holding up 2 for Strangle and infinite tempo losing 3 for Herofall. The problem is, Rogue, is we're just such a worse PA deck than they are. Like their PAs are so much better than ours. Yeah, right? Okay. Maybe one of those should be something else.
Nice. Yeah, as it can. What are you doing up there? That doesn't look dangerous at all.
Welcome to my life, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, hi. We're talking about you.
Real nice. Real nice. Can I help you? Oh, you want to stand on me now?
So I'm playing the Acolyte of Shoku here because if my opponent plays out a Shaper this turn, next turn I can go Strangle plus Cottontail Explorer. Because then that way if they Runebind my Strangle, I can flip it back out. Perfect. All right, I'm going to grab this. I think I want to just Primordial Cockatwice them here. Cosmic Calling for 3, yeah, that always feels bad.
Okay. You're such a little demon. I hid that from you. I hid that from you. This is what I get? This is what I get? I see you trying to get over there. Yeah, I see you trying to get over there. I see you.
You say it's up to 11?
Yeah, I know it's 22. I got a lunch meeting. We're not going very far. We don't live in the biggest town. I gotta go all the way across town.
Whoa. Huh.
I don't think you can beat that card.
I was not expecting... Actually, Blight Knight notices these spiders.
Not if they make more venom.
What? That's... No, yeah, even if they have more venom, because they only have 1 defense. Alright, so next turn we can Yazukan. You want to hit your champion power aggressively against Tribunal Magistrate, especially while I have this Blight Knight out, because I want to minimize the amount of spiders in my deck when I'm milling over cards or burying cards. Will you stop it, you turd?
You're such a jerk.
You giant, massive turd. We're going to have more Hero Falls in my deck next game since they brought in Magistrates, though. And this deck's will be playable if Rotten Rancor rotates out. Yeah, so some iteration of Blood Wild good cards is certainly going to be playable, right? Yes, there is, so like, people were talking about like the Turbo PA deck being unbeatable and obnoxious. Like, there is a deck that's playing 4 Blight Knights that's really good somewhere. It's just well positioned in the format in general. It's like Tribunal Magistrate. This is just like a good card that's also a hate card against Turbo PA. I do think the Turbo PA deck is very good, and if you play it well, you can play through the hate with Transmographates and Runebinds and stuff, but I do think we have more than enough tools to interact with this deck on profit. Stop hitting me in the face. Don't you laugh at me. Another backup Blight Knight here.
Your intentions for you, and you did.
Wait, we've runebound my... Here's my Cottontail Explorer.
With. Damn it.
Alright, they get an egg, but the spider dies. Once these Blight Knight triggers happen. Nope. Confounding ire, okay.
We are jungle gyms.
They had Confounding Ire to counter on the way back.
I am no longer a human being, I am a jungle gym.
I'm gonna attack with this because they block with the Tribunal Magistrate. I can kill it with Strangle. They chose not to block. Hi, Declan. Hat, yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Oh, yeah, true. They should have Runebind on their turn. That is correct. I'm attacking for 8. The other reason Blight Knight's really good in matches like this card's a quick clock, right? Like, 3-1 for 2, like, that's a lot of damage. Am I just taking this Magistrate off the table?
I don't... Oh, yeah, but that
I
probably...
feel like I am. Just like, it cuts down on their mobilization, too.
Beep. Beep. You guys cracked me up, man. I was gonna say, are we transmogging the 7-drop?
You have another one?
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
Okay, they get to...
Going off.
They answered both their Blight Knights. And they get to do their thing. All right. Your consult. Do you have the time to consult with the talents?
Oh yeah, man.
Do. The other thing too, though, is like they need to answer this Eternal Seeker, right?
They're gonna die.
Like the Eternal Seeker is just dead in 2 in the air. And if I draw another Eternal Seeker, I just get to mop up all these
Actually,
ones.
they're dead anyways. You have 9 resources.
Oh yeah, they might just be to the Acolyte of Shoku. Let's draw another Eternal Seeker, shall we?
Oh. Good. Oh, so you could. You're lucky. Damn.
Well,
We were close.
I'll hold these up. Am I? Actually, look all the things I put in here. I should probably just play the Yazukan, right?
I guess. I mean, it's you're like 50-50.
They have to like answer the Blight Knight, and then they have to like answer the Yazukan, or like I'm gonna get more stuff back. Oh yeah, you just ended, opponent. Do your thing.
You can still do that.
Yeah, I could have held up Strangle. You're right. Maybe I was supposed to. Yeah, it's probably supposed to hold up Strangle here. They could still be dead in the air, yeah. Like, they need to take this Blight Knight off the table so they can go sufficiently wide, but they also have to, like, not die to this Eternal Seeker and this Yazukan in the meantime. So, what's happening on my opponent's side of the board right now is that my opponent, what's the word that I'm searching for? My opponent has ascended, so whenever they play a troop, whenever they play an action, they get a troop. And what that means is that, well, for starters, are they dead? Let's find out if they're dead.
Find out. Double removal spell.
Gotta be double removal spell.
Yeah.
They're just dead. So they did their thing both games, and we just dumpstered them anyways.
Alright. Well, you guys have
I'll
fun.
catch you later. Have fun. So the non-believers of the world that think the Turbo PA deck is like cracked in half and you can't beat it, like this.
Bye-bye.
There are plenty of ways to attack. This is literally the first rough draft of a deck that I was like, okay, I want to try and be good against Turbo PA and I want to do something dumb to beat
4 Magistrate, 4 Knight.
Let's start there, right? All right, cool. At any rate, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up there for the morning. I will catch all of y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up there for the morning. I'm gonna catch all of y'all around later.